They thought it was just an old legend, a story told to scare kids away from the forest. But when people started vanishing, the truth came out. Something was hunting them, something not human. And once you hear its roar, you'll never escape. There's a small forgotten town in the backwoods of West Virginia. Locals whisper about a house deep in the forest, a place no one dares to visit after sunset. They call it the Brothers' Cabin. Decades ago, two brothers lived there, raised in poverty and isolation. The older one, Daniel, was quiet and hardworking. The younger one, Caleb, was strange, always hungry, always watching animals with a disturbing fascination. People said he was different, but nobody knew how different until the night everything changed. It was a freezing winter when Daniel vanished. Locals searched, but his body was never found. Caleb claimed wolves had attacked, dragging his brother into the woods. Nobody could prove otherwise. Months passed, then hikers began to disappear. Hunters found bones, stripped of flesh, scattered near the cabin. The sheriff suspected wolves again, but the bones told a darker story. Teeth marks were human. By the time people realized the truth, Caleb had vanished too. Some said he starved, others believed he never left the woods at all, and that his hunger was for human flesh. Now, in present day, teenagers dare each other to go near the cabin. Most never make it past the fence. The few who do say the same thing, at night, they hear footsteps circling them, followed by a low, wet chewing sound coming from the dark. Last fall, 3 college kids decided to prove the legend was fake. They took a camera, flashlights, and a cooler of beer. Laughing, they made their way into the trees, joking about the cannibal brother. But once they reached the cabin, the laughter stopped. The wooden door was cracked open, swinging slowly like it had been waiting for them. The smell hit first: rotten meat, damp wood, and something metallic, like blood. Inside, the walls were covered in scratch marks, some shaped like words. One message was clear: hunger never dies. The deeper they went, the colder it got. In the corner of the main room sat a chair, and on it, a bundle of old clothes. What looked like bones stuck out from the sleeves. One of the kids whispered, "That's Daniel." Before a loud crash came from upstairs, the floorboards groaned under heavy steps. Something alive was still there, something big, and when the boys lifted their camera toward the stairs, the beam caught a shadow. A man's shape, impossibly tall, his skin stretched thin, his eyes glowing like an animal's in the dark. He opened his mouth, showing teeth filed down to sharp points. The camera shook as one of them screamed. The recording ended with a roar, low and guttural, followed by the sound of splintering wood. The 3 boys were never seen again, but 2 weeks later, a park ranger found their camera lying near the edge of the forest. The last frame was blurry, but clear enough to see. A figure crouched on all fours, dragging something heavy behind him, a man, or what was left of one. The next day, the sheriff organized a search party. Armed men, hounds, and even reporters from the local newspaper came. The forest, however, seemed alive with malice. The deeper they went, the quieter everything became. No birds, no rustling, just silence thick enough to choke on. They found the cave again, but this time, bones were scattered outside. Some were animal, but others, unmistakably human. Sheriff Dalton bent down, lifting a broken skull with shaky hands. "Dear God," he whispered. "It's been feeding for years." Suddenly, a blood-curdling roar echoed through the trees. It wasn't a bear. It wasn't anything natural. Men raised their rifles, but before they could fire, something massive darted between the trees. One man screamed, and within seconds, he was gone, dragged into the shadows, his rifle clattering to the ground. Panic spread. The search party fired blindly into the woods, but the beast moved too fast. One by one, men vanished into the trees, their cries cut short by the sound of tearing flesh. Sheriff Dalton shouted, "Fall back! Fall back!" But the forest wouldn't let them go. Paths twisted. Every tree looked the same. By nightfall, only 3 men stumbled back into town, clothes shredded, faces pale as death. They swore never to speak of what they saw, but rumors spread anyway. Some claimed the beast was half human, cursed to crave flesh. Others said it was a demon, drawn to sin and blood. The government sealed the area, calling it unsafe land. Locals whispered that the beast still roams, waiting for anyone foolish enough to enter its woods. So, if you ever driving through the backroads of America and see a warning sign about restricted forest land, don't test your luck. Some places are forbidden for a reason, because the cannibal beast is still hungry. If you want more terrifying stories like this, subscribe to Dark Zone, your home for faceless horror that will keep you awake at night.